Hi guys, this is another continuation from my previous videos because twice I've gone almost over 10 minutes. So just continuing from where I left off, where I'd basically made a directory and I copied a file into it. I then went into that directory, deleted that file, came out of that directory and then deleted the directory. So what you can also do is move it. So if I was to make the directory again and say md testing, so it says testing there, and I'm now going to move this dir.bat into testing. So I'm just going to say move.bat, move dir.bat testing. Now you'll notice that I'm not putting in anything like C documents settings Duncan desktop testing. That's because we're in the directory and it treats testing as a directory. Or a folder even inside desktop. It treats testing as a folder. So if I move it, you notice it doesn't do anything, but now dir.bat's gone and it's inside testing. So I then want to go into it and move it back. So I say cd testing, change directory to testing, and then move dir.bat, and then this time I want to go get it into the previous folder. Now I'm going to try this and see if it works. It probably will. I'm going to say ... and then /, and hopefully that will move it in the previous directory, or the up it . Means up one level, and we're going to move it into desktop basically. So I'm going to do that, and good, it works. It's back into the desktop. So we can come out of this. We're going to go cd ... to go back onto desktop, which is what we did here. That means desktop, and then we're going to say rd testing. So, and you'll notice that the testing folder is gone. So this is various things you can do with various commands in DOS. I was talking about file manipulation and things like that. Now, let me think of some other things you can do. I've talked about batch files, about how you can make a .bat file and do multiple commands, which is ideal if you want to do things like arguments and stuff like that. If you do make a batch file and you want it to display something, you just say echo and then you say something else. So, but you'll notice that batch files sometimes start with something called @echo off. That just basically means don't show the commands in the batch file, because when you make a batch file it comes up with all the commands. So if I make multiple commands, say if I said rd test, md testing, all that, it will show up on here as rd test, md testing. Now when we first used to start our computers up with DOS, it used to show these commands and it used to be not very nice to look at. Now what you can do is take echo off and it will not display anything and just do everything in the background. So that is useful. And then if you want to display something, to say something like, I don't know, working or something like that, you say echo working . Obviously I haven't turned echo off, so, and then it says working there. So it would show up working and then it wouldn't do anything else, even though you're conducting all these file operations, because you turned echo off. So another one to do here, some other tricks you can do. CLS is clear the screen. So you see that's getting a bit untidy. With the Windows command prompt, I think you can do something like color 1, 2. Oh no, maybe not. Okay, if I say color 0, color 1, basically change the color of the box. There we go. Now my text is now blue. So if I make it green to make it matrix style, it's color 2. And you'll notice when I said color, or did the color thing wrong. Oh no, color must reset it. If I do color / question mark to find out what this does. Sets the default console foreground and background color attribute. You'll see a list of all the colors you can have. So I'm going to change it back to green. So it's color 2, wasn't it? There you go. So it's now green. You can also do this by right clicking and go into properties, and then you can see screen background, pop-up background, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that is several things you can do with files and folders. Now the command prompt does more than just accessing files and folders. It does things to do with the internet as well. So I'm going to do some basic internet commands. So if I want to test my internet connection to make sure I can access things like Google, and it doesn't show up on the web page or on YouTube or something, it doesn't show up on the web page. It says cannot be displayed or something stupid like that. So I'm going to ping it. What ping does is send like a signal to their server that you're connecting to, because when you connect to a website you connect to a server. So it's going to connect to a server, and the server is going to then respond to my little ping command, and it's going to send some replies back. It's basically sending a packet to a server and it's sending a packet back to say it's received it. So I'm going to say ping www.google.com, press enter, and you notice that I'm pinging it and it's replying to me, and it's saying the time, I think that's time to live, the TTL means, and basically it's saying replies. So I've got 4 replies, which is great. Ping statistics, I sent 4 packets and I received 4 packets, so 0% lost, approximate round trip. And what you'll notice also is when I pinged it, it said it's got here 66.249.91.103. Now this is useful because when you ping a website, it will show you its IP address. Now if I was to type this, if I go into edit and mark, drag it over here, press enter, it will copy it, and if I was to paste this into Firefox, it's loaded up google.com. That's because without using the servers have something called DNS, which allow you to go on www.google.com because it's a domain name, but you're actually connecting to its IP address, which is that. So Google's IP address is that. Now this can also be useful if you ping someone's server or someone's website if they have one at home or something like that, because you can ping other people's computers. If they know their IP address, you can ping them, and that's useful for things like games. But you can find out the location of where someone is if you find their IP address. I'm just going to go to internetfrog.com, and I'm just going to show the IP address here. So this line looks like mine or something like that, I'm not sure. So I'm going to paste it in, IP check, and it says that the IP location is in the United States, and then I can map it, and then it shows me that it's connecting through the internet through blah 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 blah. So if you receive, I don't know, if you receive like a file from someone and you manage to get hold of the IP address of the person who sent it, and you know who they're connected through, because like I've had a friend who's connected to my website and left nasty comments, or one of my old websites. I know it was him, even though he said he was someone else, because I logged his IP address, and I knew he was connected with a certain company, so I know it was him. And I could also map his location, which I've already done, and it basically shows where the server is, and he lived near me, so it showed up where he lived. So that's useful for finding things out. Now another one's called Tracert, and what this does is show you all the path it takes to get to a website. So if I went to google.com, it's going to get these, usually it times out on the first one, I'm not sure why, but it will continue afterwards. Basically it will show me a load of seconds that it's taken to go through several things to get to Google. So we're tracing a route to Google. You'll see it's coming up with various things here. It seems to be taking a while, it doesn't usually, but hey. So you can see this is the route it takes to get to Google for me. So that's Tracert. I'm going to break this, control and break, excuse me, and that's several things you can do. Another one is NetUser, I think, where you can basically, it shows you all the users that you have for your PC, user accounts for HPC. Now some people have said you can do NetUser, choose the username and then star, and it says type of password for the user, and they seem to get it into their heads that you can change the admin password on things like networks and things like that, but you can't do it. So don't listen to anybody that says, oh, I can hack using the command prompt and they've done NetUser username and star, because that's a stupid way of doing it. You can also do NetSend. Now this doesn't work with Service Pack 2. Service Pack 1 people have it enabled as default, Service Pack 2 users have it disabled. But what you could basically do is say NetSend, and then mine's turned on, I think. So I'm going to I'm going to NetSend myself. You could then send messages to people and say hello, and it would basically, I think it might time out because I've got it disabled. Oh, well. You basically say NetSend the computer. Yeah, the last could not be found. And it will basically send a message, and it will come up as a pop-up, and it'd say hello. So I did a NetSend to, you can do a multiple NetSend. I downloaded a program, I did it to everyone on the college network, and I got in quite serious trouble for doing that. So everyone who logged on got a message from this. So there's several useful commands. Oh, one last one before I run out of time. System info works with XP Pro. Shows you several things about your computer, and the most important one is system uptime. Tells you how long your computer's been up. So thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.